You're still watching The Marketplace with me, Charles Aita. Let's now look at something that really bites us hard here in Ghana. Indonesia recently shocked the world when it unexpectedly announced that it was planning to ban oil palm exports. Indonesia's president says that the move is to ensure that cooking oil in the domestic market becomes abundant and affordable. So he's protecting his market, in essence. Over here in Ghana and the rest of Africa, consumers are still very worried that such a move could greatly exacerbate food prices, as well as prices of other household essentials such as soaps. With an already battered sector, could Ghana succumb to this challenge? Salom Kwame is Executive Secretary of the Oil Palm Association, and he joins us to discuss. Salom, grateful that you could join us. I mean, it's quite obvious. When Indonesia bans the export of oil palm, there's definitely going to be a trickle-down effect here in Ghana and the rest of Africa. Do you feel that oil palm, in our country, is sufficient enough to meet domestic demand amid export ban by Indonesia?
Well, good afternoon to your viewers. I think the move by Indonesia will actually have a great impact on the sector, Ghana especially, because as it stands, Ghana is a net importer of crude palm oil, and Indonesia being the largest producer of CPO, and it will have a great impact on the sector, because Ghana, as it stands, at last year, we imported almost about 440,000 metric tons of CPO. So, and the move is going to affect most of our refineries, industries, some of the industry players. And as you said, prices of household items are going to be increased. And CPO, crude palm oil around the world, because of that move, has actually increased CPO, and that has been this increment. Though at some, our farmers at the upstream are quite happy, but the downstream are not very happy with the increment in the price of CPO on the world market due to Indonesia's announcement.
But Salom, I mean, what's happening to our sector? What's happening to the capacity of Ghana's oil palm industry to cushion against this impact?
Yeah, looking at Ghana's oil palm sector, it's a growing sector. As I'll put it, we have a lot of challenges, but with this announcement, we as a country, as a sector, we are not sufficient. We don't produce enough CPO to feed the local market.
And why is that? Why is that? Why is that? Because we have vast arable land. Previously, we had interactions with the president of the AGI, of whom, he's very confident that a sector as the palm oil industry is very viable, and that with the benchmark values being reversed, he is very optimistic of competitiveness within this industry. So having to hear this from you, help us appreciate the challenges as they come.
Yeah, that is true. The industry is very viable, has the potential to grow, even to meet local demands and even exports. But there are a few challenges. I heard in your statement, there are arable lands. The lands are there, but they are not accessible for big time plantation. We have now, as it stands, the sector, I can confidently say we have the technology to match that of Indonesia and Malaysia, because as it stands now, most of our mills are at par with their competitors in Malaysia. The problem we have now, or the challenge we have now, is the raw material base. Ghana, we don't have the raw material base. The lands are there, but they are not accessible. We have a lot of land, but it's not very accessible. It comes with a lot of challenges and a lot of issues. As an investor coming into the oil palm sector, to get land. As at now, even most of the old plantations are still in court over lands that they bought some years ago. They are still in court paying compensation, dragging issues in court, and thereby they are not able to expand. Let me give you an example. There is one of our major producers of crude palm oil in Ghana and a refinery. They had 9,000 hectares of land to cultivate. They've cultivated only 7,000. The rest of the 2,000 hectares is still in court. They are battling over it. But when they moved from Ghana to Nigeria, they had 60,000 hectares of land to cultivate. So Ghana, we have an issue. One of the main issues we have has to do with land. The second has to do with policy, government policy. For example, with the benchmark issue that you mentioned, the benchmark policy was one of the, should I say, policies that really affected the sector. So this and other issues, the benchmark, when we are able to take care of or resolve issues with land, and we are able to put down the real or implement the right policies, the oil palm sector in Ghana will thrive.
But in the meantime, we're going to be experiencing the impact of Indonesia on our market. Salam Kwame, we're grateful that you could join us. He's the Executive Secretary of the Oil Palm Association.